Hello everyone, the Army of Otters here, and welcome back to the Unexplored Mojave. Today we're going to be looking at the legendary Lucky 38 Resort and Casino. This was recommended to me by Benson151, so thank you for the recommendation. Now I know what you might be thinking. Unexplored Mojave, the Lucky 38 is a symbol of the Mojave. However, the Lucky 38 kind of operates as a place for the main quest, right? You just go in there and you kind of ignore a lot of the other stuff. So in this video, I want to explore the areas of the Lucky 38 that players typically overlook. And as we enter the Lucky 38, we are greeted with the front lobby, which has the reception and a casino floor. Behind reception, we can see a newspaper that talks about the grand opening of the Lucky 38. Now, the Lucky 38 was possibly opened as early as 2024, the year it is now. And then in the check-in area, we have all of these cubbies, which I would assume are maybe room keys, but there appear to be poker chips in them. And then we also have another newspaper talking about the success of the Lucky 38. Here we have some filing cabinets, but there is not much inside of them. And remember, you're the first person to enter the Lucky 38 in like 200 years. So everything in here has been frozen in time. Now behind this counter, I noticed there's pre-war money on these shelves. And then I noticed that this slot machine, for some reason, is floating in mid-air. I don't know why it's like that, but yeah, it's just kind of stuck inside the wall, and now it's floating. And it won't come unstuck. If we head up towards the VIP lounge, we have a nice area with a lot of alcohol and Sunset Sarsaparilla and Nuka-Cola. And again, this place has not been touched in over 200 years. It's all full. Here we also have the Golden Gloves, which appear to have been part of some kind of boxing tournament. Now, scattered throughout the Lucky 38 is pre-war money, which in Fallout New Vegas is pretty good because it has 0 weight and they're worth 10 caps. So if you get a lot of pre-war money, it's pretty valuable. Now there's these newspapers all over the Lucky 38 and picture frames, however they all say the same thing. Now below the VIP area we have a lot of gun cabinets, but this room appears to have been the room where they had all of their money and all of the casino chips for gambling. It's a very important area, of course, for the casino. And then on this counter, we have a tray with a Nuka-Cola and coffee mug. So I'd like to imagine somebody got room service and then the bombs fell. They never got it. Also across the Lucky 38, you'll see these advertisements advertising the hotel and how amazing it is. This one talks about its incredible rooms, its incredible prices. I was trying to read the text on the pictures, but it's a bit low resolution, but it says executive suites, spacious rooms, and reasonable prices. As I already mentioned, lots of pre-war money in this place, inside the cash registers especially. Inside the safes, we can find chems, medical supplies, and even ammunition and weapons. So, not bad, but not so great either. I did find it weird, however, that the Lucky 38 staff put like chems and guns and ammunition in these safes and not a lot of money, although this one had money inside of it. Also, one of the counters you can find a few bottle caps, but for the most part, there's not many bottle caps in here, which makes sense because this place was frozen in time for 200 years. Next, by the VIP area, we have this door, but it's inaccessible, so maybe it was cut content or just nothing. And then we had some roulette tables. Also, there are these slot machines, and on the wall here, we can see advertisements for like different shows. So here we have some kind of jazz group, and then here we have some kind of like genie or magician show. So pretty cool, kind of real to the real Las Vegas, where you have lots of shows, lots of music, stuff like that. And over here we have the like main bar area, and again, like the other bar, it's pretty stocked full of stuff. Lots of cigarettes, lots of beer, lots of alcohol. So again, nobody's touched it, so you can make a pretty good fortune if you were to open up a business here. And then we just have more of these advertisements advertising different shows. I did want to say, though, the Lucky 38 kind of creeps me out. Kind of like a liminal space. It's just empty, there's nothing in it, and it gives me a lot of feelings similar to that of The Shining, the famous horror movie from Stanley Kubrick, written by Stephen King. Now, moving up to the Penthouse, this is where House is, and there's a lot more activity here. Up here we can find Jane, who claims to be one of Mr. House's girls. And we might be able to get some more history on these girls if we talk to Raul.
I remember there were some weird stories about him, especially near the end. There was a tell-all in El Periódico de las Aburridas by a starlet house dated. She said they never, don't make me spell it out, boss. Anyway, she said all he wanted to do was scan her brain and make her dress up in different outfits. It was quite the scandal, at least in the Latin American tabloid journalism market.
So Raul says that he made girls dress up in different outfits and then scan their brains, possibly to create these girl Securitrons for Mr. House, which is kind of weird. If we look at Mr. House's terminal, we can see a lot of security cameras that look at different places on the strip. And then there's also a lot of pre-war books in this room, kind of making a library of sorts, but none of these books are special. They just say pre-war book worth 1 cap. Then in the next room, I've really never been in here. There's just no point to being in here. There's like a reception area where we have a big dinner table where I assume Mr. House would eat or possibly entertain guests. Kind of weird to me, there's like a kitchen over in this area. So it definitely seems more of like a private area for Mr. House. And it would appear the dinner table has been untouched. It looks like it was set for breakfast or something. Then if we go behind the elevator, we just have this like little lobby area. And inside here, we have some protectrons, which were built by Mr. House's companies. These appear to be some kind of model. And that one over there is a Nuka-Cola model. So kind of interesting, and I'm assuming he would use these to show off to potential clients or something if the clients were going to make a big order. Maybe, I'm not sure. But a lot of kind of weird or interesting stuff up here, but it definitely seems like this area was used for like some kind of meeting. Then over here we have these really weird pictures, and I can't really make out what they're supposed to be. So, what do you guys think this penthouse floor was used for? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Another thing I wanted to mention was the Lucky 38 was built just after House was born. So he did not design it himself. He later purchased the Lucky 38 and then upgraded it to his specifications. So next I wanted to take a look at the cocktail lounge. Now this is easily the most overlooked part of the entire Lucky 38 because truthfully there really is not much up here. Probably the most notable thing up here is we have a snow globe, which is worth 2,000 caps. For whatever reason, the nuclear test site snow globe is inside the Lucky 38 and not at the nuclear test site itself. I don't understand why that is, but just something interesting. But this place is very empty and it has a very like Shining-esque feel to it, at least to me. I'm the only person in here. Your companions cannot come to this floor. It's empty. There's no robots, there's nothing. So it's a little bit spooky to me. And if you look at the ceiling, you'll notice there's like some pink kind of like neon lights. So I imagine this was a happening place during the pre-war era. Now another thing I want to point out, which is quite interesting, is there's a hard-locked briefcase kind of near the elevator on the right side of the elevator. If you open up the suitcase, you'll find some ammunition and some C4 and a detonator. Really interesting, and I wonder if somebody was planning to assassinate Mr. House. As we know, Mr. House and the Enclave or Vault-Tec did not see eye to eye, so maybe somebody wanted Mr. House dead. And the final area of the Lucky 38 is, of course, the Presidential Suite. I imagine this is the area most players know at least pretty well because this is where you can send your companions, and it can be used as player housing, of course. In here we have a recreation room with a pool table, and on the table with the radio is some Jake's juice, which is a kind of alcohol, and also the snow globes are stored in there. Then we have a kitchen, and in this room we have like a little office space along with some beds and storage lockers. And then we have the bathroom, and this bathroom is really unique to me with these curtains and then 2 bathtubs and kind of a weird floor. So a little bit interesting design maybe. But overall, this Presidential Suite is pretty cool. I always use it as just my main base of operations. However, the downside is you have to kind of go through a lot of loading screens to access it. And of course you can upgrade the Presidential Suite. You can add some weapon lockers, some more storage area, and of course some workbenches. It also adds like Sunset Sarsaparilla vending machines and stuff, so some kind of cool decorations. So some real quick interesting trivia about the Lucky 38. The design of the Lucky 38 is based on the real-life Stratosphere Hotel and Casino, or today it's just called the Strat. And it's also loosely based on the Landmark Hotel and Casino. However, the Landmark Casino was demolished in 1995. But interestingly enough, the Landmark was owned for some time by Howard Hughes. And as we mentioned in a previous video, Howard Hughes, who was an American aerospace engineer and very rich person, heavily inspired the character of Mr. House, Robert House, in Fallout New Vegas. But that, guys, is the Lucky 38. Let me know what you guys thought of this video in the comment section below. I plan to do more places on the Las Vegas Strip because they were recommended to me by several people. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, if you have any recommendations for the next video, please post them in the comment section below. Until next time.